Hey everybody, welcome back to Small and Talk Japan. On this show, we talk about all things Japan in English. My name is Mitch. I'm here with
Natsuki.
Hey Natsuki, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing all right. We got an excellent show for you guys today. We're going to talk about the state funeral of Mr. Abe-san. We're going to talk about the reaction to the state funeral. We're going to talk about how the working poor in Japan got a little bit of a raise. Well, we'll get a little bit of a raise. We'll talk about where the hazardous areas are in Tokyo if there's a major earthquake. We're going to talk about Mr. Hatoyama.
Former Prime Minister.
Hatoyama.
How long years ago?
I don't know. He decided to tweet some conspiracy bullshit, so we're going to talk about that. Oh, he's so weird. And his wife is weird, too. We're going to talk about how Japan, a court in Japan rejected a spousal visa for a gay couple. We're going to talk about how Go-To Travel's coming back. And we're going to talk about how two police officers got really drunk and fell down into the ocean. Roll that intro.
Do.
You don't need to sing it. We go over this every time, Natsuki. You don't need to sing it.
Let me.
How you doing, Natsuki?
Okay. Just because I'm wearing black doesn't mean for Prime Minister Abe.
Oh, okay. Don't be confused, everyone. I don't think anyone
care.
I don't think anybody thought about that whatsoever. But just in case you were, just know that she was not. Did you? Okay, so let's just jump into that while we're doing the intro, okay?
Okay.
So I'm sitting in a car. I went to Tosenkyo that day.
Oh, right.
It's a Tuesday, last Tuesday.
Explain people about Tosenkyo.
So Tosenkyo is this place in Ibusuki here in Kagoshima where you have this thing called somen nagashi, which means like flowing somen noodles, but traditionally the way to do this in Japan is kind of wasteful. And you get like a half, like long ways cut in half bamboo, like what do you call it? Shoot, I guess. And then you nagasu. You have like cool water and somen noodles go down this ramp, this bamboo ramp. Yeah. And you're supposed to catch it with your chopsticks and then eat it. Now, you could just imagine how messy that gets, how much you lose. I mean, it's all over the place. So then some smart man in Kagoshima thought to himself, gee whiz, there's probably a better way to do this. And he created these like, I'll send you some media of this, Josh, so you can put it in there. He's got some plastic, what are they called? Plexiglass tables that are round and the water flows around in a circle. It's constantly being exchanged in and out for fresh water. But anyway, it flows around in a circle and you dump the somen noodles in there and then they just like spin around in this giant table tank thing in the middle of your table. And then you put your chopsticks in there and you scoop it out, you put it in your sauce and then you eat it.
Yeah, that's it.
It's so much easier.
Yeah, that's it.
Right? It's great.
My daughter is a lefty. We're supposed to use our chopstick on the right hand, right?
Well, most people do.
Most people do. And my daughter, she uses the chopstick with left hand. Yeah. And that's difficult for doing the somen noodle.
So at Tosenkyo, it's a place in Ibusuki. It's a very low area next to a very freshwater river. And so it's naturally a cool area. The whole idea here is to eat somen in the summer and to cool off because it's a cool food. At that place, they have lefty tables.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I didn't know that.
If you guys think about it, if the water is spinning around like this and you're holding your chopsticks like this, you can only attack, your angle of attack can only go in one direction to catch the noodles. Otherwise, if you're like flipping it up like this and it's really weird to eat. And so they have lefty style tables there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Just for people like your daughter.
Okay, we will try that.
When she gets older, let her know that Obama is also left-handed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, tell her. You and the former president of the United States have something in common.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Just keep telling her that.
That's cool. I will tell her.
Maybe she'll be president of Japan or something. Speaking of the prime minister, so we got to state funeral. So on my way back from Tosenkyo, I'm in a car, and you're not supposed to do this. Everyone does this, but you're not supposed. So Japan is a country of rules that everyone follows in principle, but doesn't follow. And here's one of them. Okay. When you're driving a car, your on-display navigation screen can be a television when you're stopped. But once you start moving, it's supposed to send a signal to the TV to turn over to something that's not the television. Right. So you're not watching TV and driving at the same time. No. But then everybody takes their car to the local electronics car shop and asks some old guy to like remove that feature for like $15. And then everybody drives while watching TV. I swear to God, it's a thing.
Listening. actually.
No, dude. My ex-girlfriend's mom would drive around watching fucking Korean dramas with subtitles.
That's not nice.
With fucking subtitles while driving. I was
dangerous.
like, dude, you should not be doing this right now.
Yeah, you should know me.
I was like, one, don't watch TV while you're driving, first off, because that's crazy. But two, you're reading fucking subtitles. And they're like tiny as well.
That's so not good.
So, welcome to Japan, guys. Anyway, so as we're driving back, we're all watching the state funeral because like the only thing on at every channel. First of all, okay, it costs more than Queen Elizabeth's funeral. Why?
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh, okay.
That was news, apparently.
Oh, it cost more. Okay.
Well, not only that, it was like, I know it's a funeral, so it's supposed to be like, I don't know. It was so Japanese. Like, I just thought the whole thing was super Japanese.
Which part? I can't tell.
One, it was like, okay, so if you look at a state funeral for like dignitaries in Europe, right? Okay. They usually do it at like a palace or a church.
Hi.
Right, where the background is kind of like religious or spiritual. Where do they have it? Like Tokyo Dome or something? Like,
no, it's a budokan, Nihon budokan.
So it's just like it's just like a building.
Yeah.
Concrete building.
No, it's not, but still, yeah.
It looked like you just have concerts there.
Yeah, the concerts there.
So, okay, that's one. Okay. Two, he had this, like, I don't know, volcano-shaped flower monument under his photo. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
It's yeah, that's what we do. It's a very Japanese way. I mean, the big picture is in the middle and then flowers, right?
But it looked like, Josh, can you put up pictures? It just looked like flower volcano and Abe at the top. I was like, and I was asking the Japanese people that were driving with me, I was like, hey, what's the significance of this? And they're like, we're not there. See? Maybe it's like an escalator to heaven. What is this?
I can't tell what is that, but when my mother passed away,
look at this. Look at all the white, all the black. It's just.
Yeah, it's like a rising sun maybe, or like Mount Fuji maybe, I don't know, but it represents like he's on top of something, maybe, my image.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm for or against this. I don't have a
I don't have an opinion. You're just telling what you saw, right?
I'm a kind of a designer. I do design on the side. I'm looking at his funeral and I'm like, you guys could have done better.
So let me tell my mother's case. When my mother passed away, she had a funeral and it was a flower ohana batake. It's like, I don't know how, a flower field.
Yeah, that's different. That's a different shape. It's just like tons of flowers like this.
And then big, butterflies in the middle.
Yeah, that's cool. That's fine.
Thank you. But, the florist asked us, like, what image was she? And so probably the image of Abe is like top of the mountain,
Did you watch his funeral?
No. I don't watch TV lately.
When the prime minister came out, the current prime minister, Suga, what's his name?
No. I can't even tell.
Yeah, I can't remember. He changes all the time. What's his name?
Kishida,
there's his name. Fumie Kishida, right? Fumio Kishida, whatever. Kishida, there you go, Kishida. When he came out and gave his little speech, I was just like, dude, just stop. Next guy. We don't need you anymore. I was like, dude, this guy hasn't done anything. Like, and the reopening of the country has been a disaster. Everything he's done sucks. And he's out there like talking about his good friend. I was just like, the whole thing was just like, to me, I was just like, okay.
Kan-san's speech was nice, right?
Yeah.
I read the newspaper and it was like a love letter to him.
Yeah, that's all fine. Okay. It's all fine. Current prime minister's speech was really boring, and then like the optics, the way everything looked was just like, I don't get this. And it just, to me, I was just like, okay. So, and I asked all of my Japanese friends, did you watch the state funeral? No one watched it.
Yeah, that's.
And there was a huge protest out in front of it because like half the country didn't want them to have it.
Right. That's true. I mean, I feel sorry for Abe. He got shot and killed. And
okay, glad that we cleared that one up. Okay.
But, it's like, everyone was not saying okay to do the national funeral. Do you understand what I mean?
Well, here's one. One of my Japanese friends said it like this, and I kind of agree with it. So Abe tried his best in a shit job because being Japanese prime minister right now is not fun, especially during the pandemic and all that stuff. He did his best, right? And I think Abe actually did his best. I actually thought that Abe, in recent memory, was one of the better prime ministers.
Right.
Because
I agree with you.
There's a lot of shitty. We're going to talk about one in a minute. Prime ministers. So he wasn't bad. But even though he was trying his best, half the country opposes him.
Right.
And then he gets assassinated, and they're like, let's have a funeral for him because he led the country for so many years, and he died, performing his duties, not as prime minister, but still, campaigning and things like that. And so let's have a funeral for him, and half the country is against it. So no matter what he does, half the country is going to dislike him.
No, it's maybe the way the government decided the funeral was wrong.
Maybe.
They didn't listen to the people. They just have power and they forced us to do it. Do you understand what I mean?
We call it top down.
Yeah, top down. That's exactly.
I don't know, guys. What are your thoughts? Do you have thoughts? I mean, like, if you're from England, especially, what are you comparing between the late Queen and then the late Prime Minister? Like, what's the difference in their services?
I actually watched the Queen's funeral on TV.
Whoa. There you go. That's just it, guys, right there. Honestly, if I wasn't forced to watch it in that car because it was an hour drive, I don't think I would have watched it either.
Right. I wanted to watch the Queen's funeral because, she's one of the loveliest?
Yeah, she's a lovely person.
Yeah, person.
I've said this before with Alex. I mean, whatever your opinion on the Queen is, like, I've said this on the podcast before, like, I always watched her Christmas message, which was always great.
Yeah, that was great.
Now I'm not going to watch it because, like, Prince whatever his name became king, I don't know, whatever. Charles, I think it is, whatever. But one of the, if you guys get, bored, Google, Queen Elizabeth U.S. presidents, and just like every single of like the last 25 U.S. presidents is like posing, like shaking hands with her. It's just like, wow, when you think about how long she lived, it's crazy.
Oh, so yesterday the prime minister, Biden was on TV, and then he might be having hard time memory.
He's like 300 years old.
300 years old.
I mean, like, here, I voted for Biden, okay, because Trump was, oh my God, that was just a shit show. But when I voted for Biden, it wasn't because I was like a Biden fanboy. I was just like, you are less crazy than that thing.
Is he Alzheimer? Not yet.
Probably have. Well, there's two things about Biden. One is that he has a stutter. So when he talks, he sometimes screws up when he talks, which is, he's had that his whole life.
Okay.
But he is like 77. 78. So, dude, he's, getting up his age, and it's like...
Is he too old to do that, president?
Well, the good thing about the U.S. president is that usually, Trump aside, usually it's the team that they have that runs the country.
Oh, okay.
So as long as you put together a good team, the U.S. president can kind of be an idiot and still things would be okay.
Oh, I see.
And in this case, like Reagan, for example, I don't think Reagan was a good president, but at the end of his presidency, he was basically just a puppet. Like his team was managing everything. And so that's probably the case with Biden, is that his team is probably taking everything, which is actually good because all the smart people, he's got a lot of smart people in his administration, so that's good. But yeah, I mean, like, Trump just appointed his friends to things that they had no experience, and they like screwed everything up. That's why everything was so fucked up for so long. But at least, but yeah, I would hope that Biden steps down this term, and then we have an election with a new Democrat president candidate next election versus probably Trump. I hope not, but versus probably Trump. So we'll see. It's a hard one, but yeah, I think he's got dementia or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Same thing actually happened to what's his name? Bruce Willis. Yeah. He
retired from the acting, right?
Yeah, because he, and that sucks, man. To lose your mind like that, it sucks. So.
But I understood what you mean, like, being that they have a team.
Yeah.
Same as here, and like, yeah. Like,
well, dude, all the guys that go on TV, they're like old men, have no idea what they're doing. Like, and they get interviewed by the reporters in Japan, and they're like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like the what is it? The information technology ministry. He was like technology ministry. He was like, I don't even own a computer. It's like, okay, well, I hope somebody else is fucking taking care of that.
Yeah, puppet.
Okay, as we're talking about this, let's talk about Hatoyama. Okay.
Another weird.
So Hatoyama's wife, I think, wrote a book about how she was abducted by aliens. And this woman's husband was, I mean, he picked her and he was prime minister. I think he was prime minister for about 3 hours.
No, okay.
He was like, it was during that, like,
time.
It was during that time, it was like speed dating prime ministers in Japan. Like they were just like new prime minister every day. Anyway, so it says, former Japanese Prime Minister Hatoyama recently tweeted that a doctor told him that the World Health Organization had acknowledged that people are 3 times more likely to develop severe illness from COVID-19 vaccines than becoming hospitalized with the disease. So basically, if you get the vaccine, you're 3 times more likely to get hospitalized than if you don't, which is bullshit. And he linked, and then what is it? Hatoyama tweeted that, blah, blah, blah. He got into a kind of a tweeting war with Kono Taro, which, by the way, I think he's the digital minister right now. Kono-san needs to be the next prime minister.
Yeah, I like him too.
He needs to be the next prime minister. Not only is he fucking really smart and everything that he's done so far in the government, he's done really, really well. He fucking has the best Twitter account. You guys should follow him. And anyway, so he's making fun of Hatoyama on Twitter.
Yeah, Hatoyama, have been tweeting weird things a lot.
He's weird.
Just
look at his face.
Yeah.
Just a weird looking guy.
But still, he was a prime minister before, and
just goes to show.
He's just a guy from the rich family. Yeah. His father and grandpa, everybody in his family is a politician.
Yeah, and they're all rich and they have I mean, this happens all over the world, but they have no connection with reality. Speaking of which, no progress for Japan's working poor. At the beginning of last month, after rounds of negotiations between business representatives and labor unions, a subcommittee, this sounds so Japanese, of the Ministry of Labor recommended to their minister that the average hourly minimum wage should be raised by 31 yen. So good. Glad that everybody's just going to be okay with that.
Do you have hard time, being the なんだっけダメだななんだっけダメだな最低賃金が上がったことによって大変?
Is it difficult if the minimum wage goes up?
Right. For you, because you are the president of the company, right?
For us, we don't pay minimum wage, so no effect.
Okay, no effect.
I don't think anybody makes minimum wage at this.
Okay.
No.
So do you hear the people around you, who has a company is struggling about, being pay is up?
So the reality is, we were just talking about this, okay? There's the rule and there's reality, okay? The reality is, it doesn't matter what the minimum wage in Japan is. Because what they'll do is they'll just switch over what they did before was just hiring full-time workers for a set amount of money, salaried workers, and just working them to death. So it doesn't change anything. The only thing that this can change is like, for baito, the part-timers, like college kids, and then also like, working moms, it could help them. But if you look at the minimum wage comparison, the UK, this is all in dollars because, you need a common currency. So the UK pays $10.19 an hour, US dollars. Germany is at $10.02. USA is at $7.25. And Japan is at $6.64. But this is also misleading because this is under the current exchange rates, which is the yen is crazy weak right now. So it's not exactly true. But yeah. And also the buying power of the yen inside Japan is much higher than the dollar inside the United States. So the minimum wage being, what is it now? 700 something yen an hour. It's okay. It's okay. You can live. It depends on what market you're in. But if you work 40 hours a week at a minimum wage job, you can still live in an apartment and feed yourself and have medical insurance and have relative safety. You cannot do that in America.
How do they live then?
They get roommates or,
roommates.
They make,
help each other.
Or they get government housing or whatever, and there's a long list for that, so it's just, it's not as big of a problem here.
I don't see, homeless people in Kagoshima lately. Do you see?
So that's another thing. People say that, there's no homeless people in Japan. Yes, there is. There's lots of homeless people in Japan. You just don't see them.
Where do they live? So
there's actually a bridge near the aquarium here. There's like 20 or 30 guys that live under that bridge.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's homeless people in any country.
Okay.
But in Japan, they tend to be shooed away to places where they're out of eyesight. Whereas if you're in San Francisco in America, it's actually illegal for the police to remove homeless people from the streets because it's like public property. And so that's, if you from San Francisco, tell us how you feel about that. That's also kind of a contentious issue there. So that's why everybody, when they go to San Francisco, like Japanese people, they go, oh my God, there's so many homeless people in San Francisco. like, well, yeah, but it's also that they live right in front of, you in the street. So it's hard to ignore them.
Okay.
I don't know which one's better.
I just don't see them. Okay.
It's most Japanese people, and this is wherever you are in any country, actually. You don't really notice things in your home country because it's just everything's normal to you. So then, like a person like me, when I come here, I'm like, why do you guys do this? And then all of my Japanese friends are like, why do we do that?
Yeah, that's true.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, Todai Motokurashi, lighthouse in the
The bottom of the lighthouse is the darkest. Yeah,
that's it.
Very interesting proverb. Anyway, let's continue. Let's go on to your story because it's kind of fun.
Okay, another drunk story again. Fukuoka police officers take tumbles onto trucks into sea after drinks with coworkers. So it means they got drunk and jump into the sea.
So they're at a train platform and they were drunk and then they fell off the train platform and then they tumbled down into the ocean.
Police officers, right?
Yeah, which I don't actually care. I think it's kind of cute. That's why I put it in the show. It's cute.
Is it cute?
It's cute.
It's embarrassing for me too. I mean.
Well, again, let's compare. A few days ago, an Amber Alert, which is like a kidnapping alert, was issued in the United States, and the police, when they found the little girl and her father who had kidnapped her, they killed the daughter.
Oh my God.
On accident. So good job, American police. I'd rather have you guys fall into the ocean while drunk with like playing around with your buddy. It's cute.
Yeah, this is cute.
That's much better.
Okay.
Tokyo government releases hazard area rankings in case capital hit by megaquake. The Tokyo metropolitan government has released an updated edition of hazardous area rankings in the event of a long-feared major earthquake strikes directly beneath the Japanese capital. Remember, March 11th was not centered in Tokyo. It was centered off the coast of Tokyo. That's why we got the tsunami. So what they're really worried about is if there's a huge quake right underneath the capital city, what would happen?
Is this the thing that people need to be prepared?
Well, what this is that they recommended that if you so let me read the areas. Okay, the first 5-tier hazard ranking in 4.5 years, based on building collapse and fire risks, has designated swaths of neighborhoods along the Arakawa and Shimida rivers and parts of Shinagawa, Ota, Nakano, and Suginami. I cannot read Japanese words in English. Wards as high risk. However, efforts to make buildings fire and quake resistance have helped lower the risk overall. So what they do is they issue this report. It's kind of like a heat map and to say these areas are dangerous, these areas are dangerous. And so basically two things that can do. One, if you are a building owner and that you've been notified that your building is maybe a collapse risk, then you can reinforce it, and they have been doing that with some of the buildings in there, making it more modern or make a new building or something like that. But most importantly, if you are a family living in these areas, you can find places to evacuate to, like parks and things like that. So I mean,
just check before something happens.
Yeah, like here where we live, since we live right next to the ocean, you'll walk around, you'll see ocean level signs. It's like it'll be like 2 meters above the ocean, 3 meters above the ocean, because humans don't really understand that.
No.
Yeah.
I don't understand what that means.
Right. What it means is if there's a tsunami or coming, or if there's a typhoon or something like that, you need to know that if they say like there's going to be a 2 meter swell, that if you're living in a place that's only 2 meters above the ocean, that means the water's going to come to you.
So my house might be sink under the water.
It's not going to sink. Well, it might go underwater. And your house is in a flood zone. I've told you this before, I think, on this show.
You did.
So you should know where to evacuate your family to. So
maybe junior high school?
You should probably.
Close to.
You should probably find that out. I don't know. Will to survive.
Be prepared.
Be prepared. Seriously. I mean, I was prepared for the tsunami because I went and drank at a bar. And I was on Chinese news. It was great. Japan court rejects long stay visa for U.S. man in same-sex marriage. A Japanese court on Friday, last Friday, upheld a denial of long-term residency visa to an American man who married his same-sex Japanese partner in the United States. The Tokyo District Court also rejected damages of 11 million yen, $76,000, sought by the U.S. national Andrew Hai and his Japanese... it says later on that he asked his name to be redacted, and why are they full naming him? Anyway, whatever. These two guys who claimed the denial of his visa impinged on his freedom to live as a family. Japanese man has requested his family name be withheld, even though
this was actually a loophole to me. Because many area in Japan don't accept, same sex
Marriages.
marriage, right?
Yeah.
So they just need to go to America and get married and come back, and then they are a married couple. But still, Japanese law have been,
It's got to change, man. It's got to change. Like someday it's got to change.
someday.
And that's the scary thing about the United States is the change was not a law that the Congress made. It was the court decided it. So the court is now completely different, the Supreme Court. It's a bunch of conservatives that Trump put in there. And so if it comes up again, they might just turn it around. So it's kind of a...
Easy.
It's not easy, but it's kind of a...
Simple.
We need to grow up, guys. Let people be people. Doesn't matter who they love. Japan to run new domestic travel subsidy program from October to late December. So it's a go-to travels coming back to Japan. So if you're traveling here in the next couple of months,
it doesn't help.
It doesn't help you in your specific one case.
No, but if people want to go to travel, they go. Don't you think?
The national travel discount will provide an equivalent of up to 11,000 yen in discounts and coupons. I always have to say that to myself. Coupons. I was raised to say coupon, which is wrong. Per traveler per day, which can be used for meals, shopping, and accommodation expenses. Just because you can't use it on your flight to Tokyo doesn't mean it's not meaning that you can. So what this will actually do is Airbnbs and hotels will all get really cheap as well.
Oh,
because
really?
they'll use the discount from the government.
Oh, okay. So
Dude,
I might.
Me and Josh went traveling during the pandemic, during the first go-to one. It was fucking great. I think we stayed at this giant mansion for I mean like a giant house in Amami Yoshima. I think it was like $3 a person.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was beachfront property. It was huge. So many rooms.
Brand new barbecue.
Beautiful place, and it was cheap.
Like I think
$3 each.
I think when we left, we just gave him a high five, and that was it.
It
was fucking great.
Yeah.
And because the country was closed as well, there was there was no customers. So like every day was just like available.
Oh.
So it was fucking great. So I hope they bring that back. With the country open would be a good boom to the tourism industry, which we desperately need. Please come to Japan, everybody. Hits on our People of Kagoshima channel has been going up because more people are now searching for Japanese related stuff on YouTube. Japanese travel.
Right.
So please, we need you. Come support us.
Come support us.
Let's see. Do I want to talk about this? So basically, the Japanese government has decided to finally get involved in the weakening yen. And they've done this thing that they did back in 1998 when this happened the last time. All governments around the world have a stockpile of US dollars. Okay.
Including me.
Okay. Including the government of Natsuki's house. Okay. And so they keep it as a reserve currency. Okay. And so what the Japanese have decided to do is they've decided to, instead of printing yen like they're doing, they've decided to buy back a bunch of yen and using US dollars. And so what that does is it reduces the amount of yen in the world, which should make the yen more valuable. And then it also floods the market with more US dollars. So it should make the US dollars cheaper. Now, it kind of worked when they did this last time in 1998, but we don't know what's going to happen now because it's in a super weird time right now.
Well, can you guess what is going to happen?
No.
Yen will be great again?
That's the thumbnail, man. The yen will be great again. Put on a fucking MAGA hat. I don't know, Natsuki. I'll talk about this next time when we have Alex on the show, but I'm currently into this a new author. I don't know how I feel about him. He's either a fucking genius or he's a crazy person. But he's got me rethinking my opinions about a lot of global things. But anyway, we'll talk about a couple more stories. Ski resorts have resorted to glamping to make use of their extensive land during the summer times, the warmer months.
Is glamping English also?
Yeah, I think it came from. I think we Googled this like 100 times, and glamping is glamorous camping.
Right. It's the Instagram word?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. It came from somewhere.
Like if I Google glamping, the first results are all about Japan. So maybe it's like a Japanese originated thing.
Could also be that your IP address is in Japan. So
that's true.
Anyway, it's whatever. It's an Instagramming thing. It's great because, You go to a tent. There's various flavors of this, but there's a tent, right? There's usually an air conditioning in the tent. There's like a barbecue set and everything provided for you.
Right.
You just go get drunk with your friends, eat barbecue, go to sleep, and go home the next day.
Right.
You do, because when you go camping, you got to buy all the shit. You use it once, you put it in your garage, and you forget about it. Glamping is just so much better.
Right. And then in Japanese case, there's an onsen next to the camping area.
Yeah, go to the onsen, not in the summer, because God, that's not cool.
If you go to its north area, that would be great.
All right, let's get to some fun stories here. So, Natsuki, I actually want to ask your opinion about this. So you have a baby, and I'm sure that you push your baby around in a stroller. Do random bachan and mommies come over and go like, "Oh my God, your baby's so cute," and touch your baby?
Recently, no, because we are corona situation.
Yeah.
So they don't touch anymore. They care about the babies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like 3 years ago, my first baby was born.
Yeah.
They always come and touch.
Okay. So there's a woman in northern Japan, Saitama Prefecture, who decided to put a little sign in her baby's stroller, and it says, "Sawana."
違うよ、触らないでね。
Sorry. And it's got a picture of the baby. For those of you who are just listening to us, it's got a picture of a baby who's like sweating, making the batsu, the crossed arms, X like sign, and some creepy hand trying to touch it. So it's like dangling inside the stroller. Now, the interview with the mom, which is an ANN News, said that she just got sick and tired of all these like bachan and people coming up and not asking for permission to touch the baby and just touching the baby. What do you think about this?
Yeah, it happens. It happens. And then I read the news and it said the grandmas, they touch the baby's feet, right?
Yeah.
I actually can forgive them if they touch my baby's feet.
That's okay.
Yeah, if they touch my baby's face, that would be a little awkward.
Yeah. Little strange.
Yeah, a little strange to do that. But I let the grandmas touch my baby's feet, maybe. So it depends on mothers, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, but I really understand what you mean. I mean, what she feels. They don't want to touch because she didn't let her own parents to touch or meet because of the corona situation.
Yeah.
So
she's probably one of those people who are like by the line, very like, we're going to obey all the rules, social distancing.
Right. Yeah.
You're not really one of those people.
No. And then probably kind of person like her can't tell the people directly, because, but I can tell.
Don't touch my fucking baby.
No. Please don't touch my fucking baby.
As long as we got that clear. All right, let's go on to the next two stories, which are kind of fun. One is they both have to do with the Tokyo Metro. Well, I didn't know this. I didn't know either of these. In the Tokyo Metro, you've got like the Maru no Uchi line, you've got the Hibiya line, you've got the Ginza line, and they're designated by like M, H, and G, right? In the train station, the pillars, that like hold up the ceiling, they have like crazy cool designs on them that actually hide. It's like kakure miki, it's like little hidden meanings that, like, if you're in the Maru no Uchi line, the design on the wall is tiles of little M's. And if it's the Hibiya line, it's like tiles of little H's.
Oh.
And if it's the Ginza line, you guess it's G. That's
Gucci.
Cool. That's really cool. I didn't know that. Every time I'm anywhere in any station in Tokyo, I'm just scared that I'm going to get on the wrong train. That's just it's like this subtle anxiety the entire time I'm there.
That's beautiful.
And also not being able to find my exit in Shinjuku. I don't know. Every time I go to Shinjuku, my mind just goes, I've never been here before and I'm lost. Like I always forget the inside of that place.
Even you have a smartphone with you?
It doesn't work because there's no GPS in there.
Oh, really?
There's no GPS in there, sweetie. That don't work for shit. You go outside, it doesn't even work.
Really?
Because there's tall buildings everywhere.
Oh, okay.
You're such a country girl. You're such a country girl.
No, I've been to Tokyo many times.
GPSing 9 stories under the ground.
Or I can read the signs. That's
They're
why.
in English too, motherfucker, and I can read them too. I can read fucking Tokyo city words.
You grow up in the big, city like Las Vegas, but you still get lost.
No. What it is like because they're all. I think several of their stations are under construction right now, so they're changing.
Ah, okay.
And so like every time I go there, I'm like, I don't know where to go. It's horrible. Or if you're like Googling something how to get to somewhere, it'll be like use exit 42, and it'll be like exit 41, exit 56. You're like, wait, where do the other ones go?
Yeah, that's understandable.
Right?
Yeah.
Then you have to ask the train station people, and
That's
then
the
now
easiest way.
And since everybody's wearing a mask, you're like, I'm like, okay, love you, Tokyo. And half the time I'm drunk. Okay.
That's understandable. I can't even hear what they are saying too. Yeah, because of the masks.
Speaking of trains, not to plug my sister station, my sister channel twice, but on People of Kagoshima, we currently have uploaded an episode of a tram driver, and it is the most adorable episode we've ever made.
Oh, really?
He's such a train otaku, and I love him. It's great. Check it out.
I will.
Last story today, also with the Tokyo Metro. When you're standing at the platform, right, and it's got all these numbers for all the cars that are coming. And the only thing that I ever look for is, am I standing in the girls only car or not? That's the only thing I look for, because that's awkward as fuck when you screw that up.
Do you care about your hands? Some Tokyo guys are, doing the hands up because they don't want to touch anything. Do you understand what I mean? They don't want to be a chikan.
They don't want to be a molester.
So how do you care about yourself?
I feel like if you're putting your hands up in the bonsai situation, you're just inviting molestation on yourself. You're like, bring it. But
I used to always do that. Like when I rode the train, and when it's like you have to shove yourself on, I would just hang on to the handrail with both hands so there's no misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding.
So I usually do if I'm crowded in the train, I will hold my phone like this, and then when I get in the train, I'll just go like this and use my phone like this. So it's essentially the same thing. And since I'm taller than everybody else, like my hands are like above their heads, so it's fine.
Okay.
But anyway, that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is Jesus Christ. The only thing I ever think about is just not getting on the girls' train. Okay. Now, in some of the places in Tokyo, they have a display showing which car that on the arriving train has the least amount of people in it. Isn't that great?
But if you check it, you will move. I don't think I will move if I see that sign.
If it's like red and it's like completely full and like 3 cars down, it's like completely empty, I'll move.
Oh, okay.
Go get myself a seat.
Even though it's like far away?
How? It's a train length. It's not that far.
Okay.
Although some of the trains in Tokyo, they go on for like half a kilometer. That is true. Yeah. Anyway, the one thing that I really, really like about Tokyo trains is their service for the blind by having a song for every station.
Different songs for different stations.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know this, when you arrive at a station, it plays a song, and a lot of them are popular songs as well. A jingle for the song, and then so that lets the blind or the seeing impaired know this is your station, which is great. It's really good. I really like train systems in Fukuoka, Tokyo, and Osaka. Never had any problems with them.
Cool. Like Ebisu Station, the Ebisu song is a beer song because of Ebisu.
Ebisu, before I let you go, this is the last thing I want to say. Ebisu, if you are attracted to 40 to 50-year-old women, office worker women, that's the place to go.
Why?
That's just where all the middle-aged single women are.
Why?
I don't know. Go and check it out. They're all there.
Okay.
They're all there. My Tokyo local friend told me this because I was going to Ebisu, and he's like, "You're going to Ebisu?" He's like, "There's just like middle-aged, single, lonely women there." I was just like, "What?" And at the time, I was like 20. I was like, "What?" Went there. It's exactly like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will Google why.
Yeah, please do. Next time you can tell us.
Okay, I will.
You guys can subscribe and wait for that. Oh, sorry. Josh has a story that we didn't print because we ran out of paper.
Yeah, sorry. We have one more article. So I want to ask you, Natsuki, before you got married, was there anything that you did together to kind of test your husband? Like, is he really going to be okay to marry?
We went to dinner. We went to dinner like many times, and I don't want him to I want him to like the food that I like.
Oh, that's such a Japanese response.
How is it?
We have to eat the same thing for the rest of our lives. It needs to be aligned.
No, not like that. I wanted to have fun with eating the things that I like.
You want to enjoy the
Yeah.
same food together.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Josh, as the only other married person here?
Something I always thought growing up, but I couldn't really do because of the pandemic was I always thought that like traveling.
You traveled with her. You went to.
Yeah, but traveling like overseas with somebody really like you can really see what kind of person they are.
Yeah.
Because I traveled to Japan with a really good friend when I was in high school. And then I saw like a completely different side of that friend, and then like we kind of stopped being friends afterwards.
People really when you get them out of their comfort zone, and especially when you do a lot of traveling, like there's problems that arise in your travel plans. Like
There are always problems
right.
when you travel.
How do you deal with that?
That was my thinking growing up. Like, I want to. If before I get married, I want to travel with someone overseas, but I wasn't able to do that.
So you just got married anyway.
Yeah,
Why are we talking about this?
Anyways, so there's an article on Sora News 24. It says, "Play this Nintendo game with your partner before you decide to marry them," says Japanese Twitter.
I'm gonna guess it's Zelda, right? Because that's a
Smash
single player
Bros,
game.
That's not a multiplayer game.
I'm singles. It's a single player game.
Well, one of the games that they recommended was Smash Brothers. Like you can fight against each other, or Apex Legends, which is a game, a competitive game, a shooting game.
Yeah.
And the other game they suggested was Splatoon, another shooting game. And the reasoning behind it was you want to see like what kind of person they are when they get angry in a game. Like when things aren't going their way, do they start blaming their teammates like, screw this guy?
How is Mario Kart not on there?
Mario Kart? Well, I mean, Mario Kart is just against your friends, right?
But it's like there's all the memes of the spiked turtle shell. It's like the ender of friendships.
More than that, I would say Mario Party is like a friendship testing game.
I've never played that game.
The game that I thought of was actually a game that I played with my wife. It's called...
Do you guys play together?
Yeah, we play games sometimes.
Oh, okay.
There's a cooking game called Overcooked.
Okay.
And it's a very stressful team game where you're like constantly getting orders for food, and then there's like random things that happen, like your kitchen catches on fire and somebody has to cook this thing and do that thing. It requires a lot of communication. So I recommend playing that game with somebody.
Overcooked for the Switch.
I think it's Overcooked 2 for the Switch.
Okay.
And like next time you have a house party, I'll bring it over and you can try it out with your husband, Natsuki. And
Okay.
like it really tests your communication.
Oh, okay. Me and my husband never played game together. Maybe not like video game people.
Yeah.
So, but we'll try that.
Yeah, that sounds funny. I'm trying to picture how your husband would deal with a video game.
He's never been a video player.
Game guy.
Yeah.
You should bring it over. I'd actually like to see that. Is it a Japanese game or English game?
Well, you can switch it to Japanese.
Okay.
But yeah, it's actually a 4-player game, but like I've seen videos of people playing with their friends of 4 people, and by the end of it, like at the start, I was like, "Oh, can you do this? Okay, can you do that?" By the end of it, everyone's just like yelling at each other.
Fucking do the order!
I told you to make the rice.
Last thing I'm going to say, if you guys have never seen the YouTube channel called Let's Game It Out, or Game It Out, or maybe it is Let's Game It Out, I don't know. That is a fucking hilarious YouTube channel. And the guy who runs it is named Josh.
Hey.
He was like, "Hey guys, Josh here." He's got like a very like old-timey announcer voice. It makes him so funny. And he did a cooking simulator as one of his videos, and it was one of the most hilarious ones that he's done. It was really good. What is this sound? Something is crossed. Oh, there you go. All right, guys, that's been our show today. Like and subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, hit the bell. If you guys don't hit the bell, then when we upload a new episode, you guys don't get any notification. Just because you're subscribed doesn't mean that you get a notification. Check out all the links to news articles in the description of the video. And also, if you want to join our Patreon group, we got some special benefits for those people. There will be a link in the video description. Thanks, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.